Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and good morning to you all. I'm delighted to preside over this third historic graduation ceremony of Umma University. This graduation is an addition, and I probably should start again. I just want to say to the Board of Trustees, to the Council, to the Vice Chancellor and the management of Umma University, and for the graduating students, good morning and assalamu alaikum. I'm delighted to preside over this third historic graduation ceremony of Umma University. This graduation edition is unique in more than one way. First, the courtesy of the global COVID pandemic, this will be the first virtual ceremony to the university and the only third in Kenya after Dedan Kimathi University of Science and Technology, as well as Riara University. Secondly, it is the first graduation after the award of the charter to our university. Lastly, this being the third graduation in 3 consecutive years, this virtual graduation is a testimony that Umma University is determined to maintain its academic calendar despite the global crisis of the coronavirus disease. A couple of weeks ago, when the Vice Chancellor, in the company of the Vice Chair of the Council, Dr. Halima Sado, came to brief me that we would need to hold the third graduation in our traditional month of June, I did not hesitate for even 1 second. My response to them was that the proposed date and time, and I'll be there. We have no reason not to graduate our students and their supportive parents who have worked so hard for this day. So here we are, still fulfilling the dreams of our 2020 graduates. To the class of 2020, may I first and foremost offer you my heartiest congratulations to you and thank you and your parents and your guardians for unfailing support that they have given you. Indeed, we are grateful that you chose to study at Umma University, and as you complete your academic journey today, you will forever be a member of the Umma family. So we say thank you and heko kwa kazi njema. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my third graduation to preside over since I was inaugurated to be the Chancellor some 4 years ago. I have seen this institution make remarkable growth over this period of time in terms of students and staff numbers, infrastructure, academic programs, and participation in community engagement. Our magnificent Phase 2 infrastructure projects are complete and in use, as we can see before us this morning. Significantly, our status has now been changed to fully chartered ISO certified university. May I express our collective gratitude to our sponsors, Direct Aid, the respected members of the Board of Trustees under the leadership of Senator Yusuf Haji, a man whose reputation precedes him, the Umma University Council under the chairmanship of Abdurrahman Muhelan, Dr. Muhelan, for wisely steering the university and for providing the massive resources for this exponential infrastructural development. I think not many words can be said on how grateful we are for Direct Aid and our brothers and sisters from Kuwait for having held our hands from inception to where we are today, without whose support we probably would not have seen this university. And I just want to say that we are grateful and will continue to be grateful to them for their continued support. However, the challenge is also on us to make sure that we take over the responsibility of graduating, becoming a self-sustaining university. We are grateful to the outgoing chair of the BAT, Professor Abdul Ghaffur El-Busaidi, for his long and exemplary services to Umma University until the university got its charter, and to congratulate at the same time Senator Yusuf Haji for taking over the chairmanship of the Board of Trustees. Umma University is indebted to both Professor Abdul Ghaffur and Senator Haji for their long and exemplary and unwavering dedication to ensuring that this first Islamic university in Kenya is fully functional. I mean, really, we should be very grateful to these 2 distinguished gentlemen who are also leaders of the Muslim Ummah in this country for many years between them. And although that Professor Abdul Ghaffur has resigned, his heart is still with this university, and may Allah bless him wherever he is. And at the same time, I just also want to say, in our prayers, we should remember today one of the Board of Trustees, Professor Naji, who is not very well and who has been hospitalized in Mombasa. Please let us remember him in our prayers. We will never forget to remember and pray for our founder, Dr. Abdurrahman Al-Sumaid, whose exemplary and foresight and vision was a first seed planted at Ummah University. May Allah reward him immensely and grant him the highest Jannah in heaven. On the 18th of October 2019 marks a historic landmark in the history of Ummah University, the day that we were awarded the charter. On behalf of our university, let me send our utmost sincere thanks and pay glowing tribute to His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta for graciously approving our charter award and for finding time to personally hand over the charter to us in a benefiting ceremony in State House, Mombasa. We are also forever grateful to the Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Makoha, Minister of Education. Lastly, but certainly not least, to the Commission of University Education through Chairman Professor Chacha Nyangoti Chacha and Professor Mwenda for diligently guiding us through the charter process that took us a number of years. Ladies and gentlemen, great progress has been made to establish Ummah University on a firm foundation to future prosperity. We must celebrate these successes. However, the reality is that the journey ahead is much tougher, much longer, and much more difficult. We have entered a highly competitive social service market segment. In Kenya alone, we have 74 universities, and in this digital age, students can learn from the comfort of their homes in Kenya and graduate in universities in America, in Europe, Asia. For us to stay competitive, I think one need not to say that this is a competition for students is a cutthroat. And for us, while we thank our sponsors and donors over the years, time has come when we must also be seen to be serious with what we are doing, for us to be able to go out and recruit as many students as possible so that we can be able to sustain ourselves. Today, probably we are the only or one of the very few universities that have no financial debt and other liabilities, that we're able to, through the support of our donors, able to meet our obligation. But sooner or later, we want to be on our own. Sooner or later, we want to be financially sustainable and independent so that our donors can go and help other needy students from other parts of this continent. And I think this is a challenge that I pose to the new council and the management. And I want to really say that we're very fortunate for the new council that came in December last year, because they are men and women of high character, men and women of high value, men and women who can make the difference that we aspire for. So my challenge to the council that is led by Dr. Mohelan, but deputized by Dr. Halima Saado and the rest of Kenyans, I hope and pray that sooner or later we will see that we become more sustainable so that we can ask our donors to help other needy sisters and brothers. While we are not saying we don't need support, we need the support, but we will have to take further responsibility ourselves. And this is the challenge that I throw to the Vice Chancellor and to the Council. The only way to beat competition is to offer quality education that trains students for skills and market demands. To attain that, we have to up our game and establish a culture of excellence and a culture of hard work. We must leverage on Ummah University Student Support Program as a unique student financing system to attract higher grade students with financial difficulties. Finally, let me thank the Vice Chancellor and the entire management, especially the academic members of staff, as well as the students, for stepping up to ensure continuity in the academic programs of our university when the global pandemic COVID-19 swept across the world. And it shows leadership, because the world around us is changing. And if we're not going to change with the changes that are happening, we will be swept aside, and we cannot afford to be swept aside. Hence, this graduation today is a testimony to that swiftness that the management took into consideration in coming up with the e-learning platforms. And I would challenge the Vice Chancellor. The 30% of students that we have said are not yet linked, and for some of the academic staff that are not linked, that is our wholesome responsibility and challenge to ensure that each and everyone is linked and no one is left behind for any reason for that matter, because we want all our students to enjoy the same services. I want to say asanteni sana for your swift adoption to digital learning. This will now be adopted as a new norm to our graduates, without whom we will not be here today. I want to say congratulations once again, and it is my distinct honor and now to confer upon you the powers to read and write and do all that appertains to your respective qualification. May God bless Umma University, God bless our students and our lecturers and our academic team, and God bless Umma University and God bless Kenya. Thank you very much.